Welcome to New Life Live, the premier place to receive free advice from Christian psychologists and counselors for the mental, emotional, relational, and spiritual challenges you face. Since 1988, we've offered compassionate responses that combine God's truth with proven psychological principles to guide you toward healing. Our phone lines are open. Call us now at 1-800-229-3000.
So glad to have you join us today. I'm your host, Brian Perez, and hope is just one call away. 1-800-229-3000 is the number you need for the next 2 hours. And here to help you with the struggles of life, whether it's infidelity, bondage to sin, or even boredom, which can lead to sin, we've got licensed marriage and family therapist, Dr. Jacqui Mack-Harris. How are you, Jacqui?
I'm doing well.
Good to see you. And Dr. Jim Burns, founder of Homework. We haven't seen you in years, man. Well, okay, few weeks.
Yeah,
but
no, it's been a few.
It's been a while.
It's been a few weeks. So I was suffering. Somebody had to go to Maui, and then I had to speak in Kauai.
Oh,
so I spoke
man.
10 times in Kauai, and nobody felt sorry for me. Jackie?
Nope.
No, but it was a great time, and then on to Boise and Houston, and my speaking season is done.
Nice.
So I'm glad to have that.
And now you're here with us.
I know, I get to spend more time.
Extra wisdom.
Yeah,
now.
I get to be here
Yes.
next week too, so that'll be great.
Great. So what's on your mind for today?
Well, it's getting close to Thanksgiving, and I actually have two thoughts on my mind, and maybe one I'll do next time. But there's something that is a part of my life message, and I call it thank therapy, Jackie. And what that means is that you can be depressed, you can have self-pity, you can struggle with things. And I'm not saying that your circumstance will change, but your attitude can change, and that makes all the difference in the world. And I really think the Bible's filled with great wisdom. And the scripture I'm thinking about today is Ephesians 5:8. And it says, "In everything you do, give thanks, for this is God's will for you." And I'll be honest with you, that scripture has been a struggle with me at times. When my mom died, I was not giving thanks for my mom's death. When my three brothers went through divorce and alcoholism in our family, I wasn't giving thanks for that. But I looked at that scripture, and it doesn't say for, it says in.
Yeah.
And in my mom's death, our family came back together. In my mom's death, with some circumstances that took place, my dad became a Christian, and I became a Christian in the Jesus movement way back when. Brian, you know that world well. Mm-hmm. And my dad was not a Christian. He was actually upset that I had become a Christian because I told him I was going into ministry, and he had other plans.
Yes.
And over that process, I realized that in Mom's death, there was so much good. She was not in pain. She was in heaven with Jesus. So many good things. And Joni Eareckson Tada, who a lot of us would know, amazing woman, radiant woman. She was on, I used to have a radio show, and she was on my radio show. She comes wheeling in. And I just moved all of my notes aside, and I said, my first question was, Joni, how do you manage in the midst of your pain and in the midst of your suffering? Because we don't talk enough about that probably with someone like that who's in a wheelchair. She's been confined to a wheelchair since she was 17. And she looked at me with a long pause. I know in radio you're not supposed to have the long pause, but she was thinking. And then she said, Jim, the Bible says in everything you do, give thanks, for this is God's will for you. And I've had to learn to reset my attitude daily, and there is so much to be thankful for. And a tear just automatically, it just started going down my cheek, because I went, here's a woman who, has struggled, but she was still able to reset her attitude with that particular scripture. And I call that thank therapy. And so even today, I wrote down reasons why I was thankful. I do it every day. I write down 20 reasons why I'm thankful, and I'm like obsessive compulsive. I need probably help. I need to talk to you, Jackie. But I'm obsessive compulsive about writing what they are, and they're not anything fancy. It's my family, it's my friends, it's missionaries. I'm thankful for what God is doing.
Yeah.
And I want to say to you today, if you're listening or watching, I want to say, even in the midst of tough things, your circumstance may not change. We can't promise that. But your attitude can, and that makes all the difference in the world.
So you come up with 20 new things every day?
Sometimes it's the same.
Okay.
I think Kathy, my wife, gets first shot every time.
Yes.
Family, friends. Today I'm back. I'd been on this 18-day trip, so I'm back, and I was writing things for thankfulness about my work, homework, where I work.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful place. New Life.
Mm-hmm.
I did a little something on Christmas for New Life this morning, and I went, wait, I love New Life.
Yeah. All right, guys, give us a call, 1-800-229-3000.
So many times we get calls about loss and grief, and it's one of life's most profound challenges. It affects our mind, our body, and our spirit in deep and lasting ways. Grief is something that we will all experience, but we experience it differently. I want to invite you to our upcoming webinar, Coping with Loss, a grief webinar. Our webinar is 90 minutes. We are going to have Laura Mange-McDonald present, and whether you're grieving the death of a loved one or walking through another kind of loss, this session offers biblical insight, emotional support, and practical tools to help you move forward.
The Coping with Loss Grief webinar is Thursday evening, November 13th. Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE or go online to newlife.com. Discover God's plan for healing and take the next step towards peace, hope, and wholeness. 1-800-639-5433. To find out more information about New Life or to order any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now back to New Life Live.
If you have a question for us but are unable to call in when we're recording, head over to newlife.com/radio for alternate ways to get your question to us. That being said, we're going to keep the phone lines open for 2 hours today, so call in if you can. We would love to hear from you at 1-800-229-3000. Let's start our time on the phones in Lake Charles, Louisiana with Andrew, who listens to us on Sirius XM channel 131. If you've got Sirius XM in your car or in your home, you can listen to us there too, channel 131. Hey, Andrew, thanks for calling in.
Hey, you're welcome. I appreciate you guys. I want to let you all know that I keep you in my prayers because I appreciate all the wisdom and educational experience, all the things that you all have accumulated through Christ. I'm a first-time caller, and it's really helped me to mature in my Christian faith. I mean, in leaps and bounds, just listening to other people call and the way you all answer the call and give them advice and suggestions, it has really helped my maturity to grow in leaps and bounds. I've been listening since Steve Arterburn was the host. Yes.
That's great, Andrew. Thank you so much for the kind and encouraging words. We can always use them.
Yeah. And yes. Yes, yeah. Hey, listen, my question is this. My brother and I, we're interested in starting a homeless ministry here in Lake Charles. I was wondering, did you all have any material as to, it's going to be faith-based and like maybe a group leadership, something, how we could just piggyback off of and then use you guys as a lifeline to help other people. My brother has been homeless for a while, and he knows something about homelessness.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, what is it that prompted you to start this, other than, well, the Lord told me to. But that's a great heart to have for the homeless. Jackie, what would you say to Andrew?
Well, it sounds like your question is what resources we have that could be helpful, and the two things that popped up for me. One is Take Your Life Back, popped up for me, and then the other one, as well as Life Recovery Everything. So maybe like the Life Recovery Group information. But How We Love has a group kit as well, a small group kit. And so helping people just understand their hurts and how they got to be that way and how they interact in relationship can be really helpful. So maybe creating a series of things that you do over time and offer some groups in that. And so, you know, it might not be one thing, it might be multiple things.
Jim?
Yeah. You know, Andrew, by the way, you made my day. Thank you for saying those nice things about New Life, because it really is a life-transforming ministry. And what you're doing, I want to affirm you and your brother, because what you're going to do is you're going to be the hands and the arms and the mouthpiece of Jesus. Because I actually think he would start a homeless ministry in Lake Charles and any other place, because that's who he is and what he does. And so way to go. Good job. I'm going to give you a phrase. A man taught me a long time ago this phrase. The essence of creativity is the ability to copy. What that means is, if you've never had a homeless ministry, there are homeless ministries around the country that are really, really, really good. And they're faith-based, and they are tied into organizations like New Life as well. So what I would do is I would find who else is doing it in your area, and there's a lot of good homeless ministries actually, frankly, in Louisiana and kind of all around you. And I would learn from them. what are you doing that's making a difference? How are you helping these people? And with going specifically, because you called New Life, mental illness is one of the major factors in homeless ministry, and for one reason or another. And that's just how it is. And so, the fact is that a lot of these people do need resources. They need support. They need love. They need you to be the hands and the arms of Christ. One of the things we've found is that in homelessness, and my background is in family ministry, but one of the things we found is that when people are homeless and they get tied into their relationship with Jesus, they actually do better. It really is more life transforming. So a lot of the union rescue missions and organizations like that really have a better rate of bringing people back into a life that is really going to help them thrive. So make sure you're looking at what's going on with those. Those are great organizations. They've been around. People support them, and you'll need to find that kind of support too. But be that, just know that you're going to be the hands and the mouthpiece of Christ, and get people around you to who can, and let New Life be one of those people, like Jacqui was just saying. But because it's only one aspect, obviously, of the need of homelessness. But learn all you can. Essence of creativity is the ability to copy. Meaning, go to other people who are doing it and find out what they've learned, and jump in there. Way to go!
Yeah, there's some pretty big national, like the Union Rescue Mission.
They're also all connected. A lot of the Union Rescue missions are connected and they have
in
great
cities.
help. Yeah, right.
And Salvation Army. So there's already a template for how to do it. Yeah. And so I would just contact those people. Yep. Go online and get that information.
I use Salvation Army a lot for drug and alcohol rehab because I think they really do a good job. It's very Christ-oriented, and at the same time, it's also, they're dealing with the issues. They understand alcoholism. They understand what it takes to get past and through this addiction, and then what to do to stay clean.
I know someone who grew up in that system. Yeah. That's when she talks about church, that's the church.
Yeah, it is a church. And the Salvation Army is a church, interesting enough. Yeah.
Well, Andrew, thank you for calling in today. We're going to send you a copy of the Life Recovery Leader's Guide, and that might give you some information on how you can get started, and definitely contact these other ministries too. And the thing about starting, or like you said, Jim, that, look at what other ministries are doing, copy them. It's not that these ministries are in competition with each other. It's not like they're going to say, nope, sorry, Andrew, you're on your own. Go figure it out. Just like we had to figure it out 50 years ago.
No, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. And even at New Life here, we would jump at the chance to help Andrew and his brother and what he's doing. So, and I think most anybody is like that. Yeah. This is not competition. Good word.
All right, thanks for calling in today to 1-800-229-3000. Let's now talk to Damien. He's in Pensacola, Florida, listening on WEGS. Hello, Damien. Welcome to New Life Live.
Thank you so much. So my question is that I travel. I'm going to make a statement first. I travel a lot, and I'd fallen away from the Lord when I was at home. I was going to church, and I've been a part of little programs that you were talking about for the homeless people and helping those guys, and just coming from the addiction world, period. But anyways, so being traveling and falling away from the Lord, I'm trying, and someone made a statement that said, give thanks into all that, what God gives you. And I've been in a storm for 2 years now. If something's going to go bad, it's going to, it's I got, last week my wallet got stolen, phone got stolen, I wrecked my truck. Wow. All on the same day. All on the same day.
Wow.
Yeah. And so I got a lot of anxiety in my life. And, I watched a thing the other day and it said, anxiety can be demons. And it can be an attack on you. And it kind of brought me to the story of legions, right? And so I go to the Bible and I try to find verses in it. They don't seem to help.
Jacqui, what would you say?
So what came up for me when you said anxiety? The first thought I had was, but anxiety is a part of how we're made. It's in our makeup. Our nervous system is designed to keep us safe. And so we have this reaction to danger. Problem is, some of us have lived in environments where you're constantly needing to be on alert. And so now that anxiety alarm system has gotten skewed, or it's oversensitive. And so now you're anxious about things that aren't in a danger to you. And so that's something we can help with. If there's a spiritual battle, that's also, it's going to create anxiety in you if there's something spiritual going on in your world. But I wonder if reading the Bible by picking out verses isn't getting you an understanding overall, and so it doesn't really help. I recommend to everyone, if you've never read the Bible, I always say start with the book of John, but then read cover to cover. It is a progressive story. To understand what God is trying to say to us in the Bible, you need to read from Genesis to Revelation and read it in context. And so rather than picking a verse here that might seem like it fits, which lots of people do, read the book of John, get some comfort from that, and then start at Genesis and work your way through it. Learn the story God is trying to tell us. And if you read through it, you'll see that God is showing all the things that happen in people's lives, just like you. It just catastrophe after catastrophe after catastrophe. And what the Bible is doing is showing us how much we need a saving Christ. You need Jesus because of your inability to be the godly man you think you want to be. And Jesus is there to help you do that and to help clean up the stuff that's in between you and God.
Jim?
Jacqui, you're so wise.
Thank you.
Good wisdom.
Thank you.
It's good wisdom. Damien, I think you're awesome, and I'm glad you called. Jesus spoke about storms. You get all these storms going. You've been in a storm for 2 years. And at the end of the Sermon on the Mount, greatest sermon that ever was written, ever spoken, Jesus said, build your house on the rock because storms are going to come. He doesn't say if storms come. He says when storms come. And he said, and if you build your house on the sand, then you're going to crash. So it's things like what Jacqui said, when you put the Word of God into your life in a strong way, that helps you. It doesn't take away the storms. Bummer. You got your wallet stolen. I hate that. I got my iPad stolen. I was just all bummed about it, and then all of a sudden I went, you know what? This is not going to be the thing I'm bummed about 2 years from now, right? So look at what Jesus says about storms. You talked about anxiety and demons and legion and all that kind of stuff, but I think Jacqui's right. I think you look at the scriptures. I wrote down, funny, because as she was talking before she even said that, I wrote down, look at God's promises. For people who have anxiety, if you Google God's promises, he promises to comfort us. He promises to be there for us. I will never leave you or forsake you is a great scripture. And I think that those are the kind of scriptures that may help you with your anxiety. The other thing I would say is because you travel, I'd still be in a support. Who's your circle of support, and who's going to help you be all that God wants you to be, and actually help you when there are storms to get through it. Because I have just been on a little trip, and I travel quite a bit, and there's this amazing thing called the internet, Zoom, FaceTime. And so I was in a meeting yesterday with my group of guys that I've been in with for 23 years, but I had to be with it on Zoom instead of being in person with them. Do that. Find those people. They're out there, and they're going to help you when you're in the midst of storms. So again, I don't think God's going to take away your storms always, but I think he's going to give you the way to build your life on that rock as opposed to the sand. And I think Jacqui gave you some good advice on that. What do you think about that?
Damon?
I mean, it all sounds, I don't know who you're talking to. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I was talking to you, Damon.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, so, yeah, I understand Zoom. I mean, I'm not dumb or anything like that, but if you don't have people to do that with, because you travel a lot,
right.
And I go to work, I go to my hotel. I go to work, I go to my hotel.
Right.
And, I've been working 13 days straight right now.
So do you know what we could do is connect you with like a life recovery group,
Yes,
and help you to get connected with those people.
Right.
And then if you drive a lot, I recommend getting an Audible Bible. For me, it's the Bible Experience. It's an NIV Bible, and it's read out as though it's a movie. It's like a movie in your mind. It's read out as though it's a movie with like stars like Denzel Washington, well, Cicely Tyson, anybody you can think of.
James Earl Jones.
That's
what I did for a year.
Yeah, and that's what I did. I've listened through the Bible multiple times using the Bible Experience. I'd encourage you to do that.
There's nothing quite like hearing Darth Vader read the Bible to you, though. That's really interesting. But Damien, thanks for calling in today to New Life Live. We're going to send you a copy of Living Strong, Finishing Well from the newlife.com store. We're going to connect you with a life recovery group because, for people who travel a lot and have these busy schedules. And
temptations are there, easy.
Yes, that too. Yeah, we didn't even talk about
that.
And
the loneliness.
Yes.
Right.
Sure. Yeah. All right, more phone calls coming right up here on New Life Live, 1-800-229-3000.
I went to Every Man's Battle in 2012. My sexual integrity was not what it should have been. I sought out affairs, whether physical or emotional. Until I came to Every Man's Battle, I didn't understand that would never fill that void.
Every day, men struggle with sexual integrity. Impure thoughts, strip clubs, affairs, pornography.
The shame and guilt was overwhelming.
For over 20 years, New Life Ministries has been helping men regain their integrity through their one-of-a-kind Every Man's Battle Intensive.
You will discover what the true root of your pain is, and you will discover how to overcome.
You don't have to struggle any longer. Get help in Washington, D.C., December 5th through the 7th. Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE to register or to find out more. 1-800-639-5433 or online at newlife.com. Enter the code NLL for a discount.
Every Man's Battle saved my life.
1-800-NEWLIFE and the discount code NLL. Club New Life changes lives.
You guys came along into my life in 2022. That was a really, really difficult year of my life.
You can help New Life Ministries provide Christ-centered hope and counseling resources to thousands of people by joining Club New Life today.
I began to really process a lot of things that I've needed to for a long time, and y'all were a very big part of that.
When you sign up to support us monthly through Club New Life, you'll make a difference in the lives of individuals and families with godly counsel and connection to help.
I came out of it having never experienced anything like that, and y'all were there.
Join today and help continue the message of hope to a troubled world.
I knew I had to keep going, and I joined Club New Life, and y'all have been the resource that has now been a light for my wife and I.
Go to newlife.com/CNL, and together we can help hurting people find help and hope in life's hardest places.
Keep doing what you do because it makes a difference.
newlife.com/CNL. To find out more information about New Life or to order any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now back to New Life Live.
If you are married or engaged, make plans now to join us in the OC Valentine's Day weekend. The Intimacy and Marriage Workshop will be in Orange County, California, that Friday through Sunday. What couples learn over the course of this weekend will change their marriage. Here's what one attendee, Mallory, told us. My husband and I are recovering people pleasers, and we really needed better understanding as to why we communicate the way we do to each other. Also, we needed a roadmap to better navigate situations with family members. This intensive really gave us the tools we needed to heal and move forward in confidence. I feel really blessed that we were told about this because I believe it has saved our marriage. Find out all about it and register by calling 1-800-NEW-LIFE or at newlife.com/IIM. And if you don't think you need this intensive, ask your spouse. They might disagree. Take the quiz online at newlife.com/quiz. 1-800-229-3000 is the number to call us today. Going to be here for 2 hours, and here is Eddie in Yuma, Arizona, listening on Sirius XM channel 131. Welcome, Eddie.
Hi, thank you for taking my call.
Yeah,
I got a question. I'm a people pleaser. I'm a rescuer. Have been all my life. But my question is, I was in a 30-year relationship, a marriage, with an addict, and that didn't end well. You know, it ended in divorce. Finally, I quit. My next relationship, the girl was an alcoholic I wasn't aware of until afterwards. And then my next relationship was with a recovering addict. And I figured, she's in recovery. So I later on, 10 years later, we've had just a rough road. And I recently received Christ, and I was able to lead her to Christ, and we're not in a relationship anymore. But I still really care about her, and I believe that she might be has some narcissistic tendencies. But how do I go on in a relationship? Well, I mean, not necessarily with her, but with someone new, when I keep attracting the same kind of, or am I looking for the same kind of woman? I don't understand why I keep following for the same person.
Eddie, I have a question for you. You mentioned having been with addicts, and then with someone who's in recovery. I'm wondering if you've done any recovery work for yourself. Have you ever gone to Al-Anon?
I went to Al-Anon. Okay. And my experience was brief because, of course, I didn't like what they said. My daughter is an addict, and my grandchildren were suffering because of it. And I was, and I guess in essence, I was enabling her by paying bills and stuff like that, so my grandchildren didn't suffer.
Yeah.
And
that's a really hard thing when dealing with people who are addicted.
Sure.
Making those choices.
And for the grandkids too, when you hear that all the time.
And,
it's hard.
Yeah. So I just felt like I couldn't relate to that, and so I gave up on Al-Anon.
I wonder if you saw a therapist and were able to talk through these relationships and the similarities in them and how you show up in the relationships, if that would make a difference in the future. What I tell people when I work with couples and they're splitting, I always say, wherever you go, there you are. So you might leave this relationship, but you are still you. Yeah. And you have to do work for yourself to figure out, what is it in me that sees this or connects with this energy so regularly.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
What would you add, John?
Well, I would just simply add, Eddie, and I think you're asking the right question when you said you're a people pleaser. A lot of times people pleasers are rescuers. And so, a rescuer is one who wants to help that, wobbly, relationship with somebody, or the person who is an addict, or the person who has these tendencies. One of the questions you have to ask is, am I helping or am I enabling dependency? Because we want to help. People pleasers want to help. They want to rescue. But I think Jacqui hit the nail on the head. I'd keep working on it. I hate to say this, but you may need to go back to Al-Anon. And the reason is not because you like it, but because there's some truth in that that's going to help you make right and wise decisions. Now, again, you obviously don't want your grandchildren to be homeless. I understand that. There is a form of helping that's good. But if we're part of the People Pleasers Anonymous Club, that means it's a beautiful way of loving people and wanting to help them, get better. I'm not sure that's the healthiest thing for you when it comes to looking for, your next relationship, because you want to work on you. So if I point a finger at my wife for after all these years, I have 3 fingers pointing back at me. I'm doing that right now on people who can see it on YouTube. So there's 3 fingers pointing back at me. So mainly what I would do is I would work on you. And I would try to fire yourself from being, you're fired from being in People Pleasers Anonymous, and get the help you need so that you really can be in a meaningful relationship. That'll help everybody.
I think as Christians, and Eddie said he's a fairly new believer.
Yeah.
We tend to fall into we think we're supposed to be people pleasers.
Yeah, I was going to say it's codependency. We have this idea that being a good person is being nice and helping, and that a relationship is, I'll do stuff for you and help you and take care of you, and you'll do stuff for me and help me and take care of me. Good. In actuality, a relationship is, let's come together with what I'm doing over here and you're doing over there, and bring that together for something stronger. And so Celebrate Recovery does a good job with codependency, and I think he could probably lean into that side. And How We Love. I think
Yes.
How We Love could be really helpful for him.
Yep.
Right.
We'll send you a copy of How We Love from the newlife.com store. Eddie, stand by, and more calls coming up too.
I was sort of vaguely familiar that the 12 steps had some origination in the Bible. I found Life Recovery, and one of the things I liked so much was that it had such a broad appeal. It wasn't limited to just alcohol or drugs, that it was addressing a wide range of problems.
At New Life, we believe everyone can benefit from a life recovery experience. There are life recovery groups all over the country. They take place online, in conference calls, and in person. And if there isn't one in your area, we can help you start one. We have startup materials, leaders' guides, CDs, Bibles, and more, all with discounts available for groups. Call us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE and ask for Terry Ward. The 12 Steps have long been a great help to people in recovery because much of the 12 Steps' power comes from the fact that they capture principles clearly revealed in the Bible.
The 12 steps is really a pattern for all of us as Christians.
Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433. Do you need help for life's hard situations?
My husband recently said he wanted a divorce.
I'm confused on what I should do.
I have an eating disorder.
New Life Live answers your questions on relationships, grief, addiction, trauma, anxiety, and much more, all from a biblical perspective with our panel of professional counselors and psychologists.
I learn a lot from your program.
You help so many people.
I appreciate your ministry.
Whether you listen or watch, there are so many ways to connect with us to ask our panel of counselors a question. Call us Monday through Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific at 1-800-229-3000 to ask your question on New Life Live. Or go to newlife.com/radio for other ways to get your question answered.
I'm trying to find help.
I just want to know how to set boundaries.
If it's a sin, what am I supposed to do?
Need a therapist or a coach, a resource, or an intensive? Call us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433. 1-800-NEW-LIFE. To find out more information about New Life or to order any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now back to New Life Live.
When you give to New Life, you're helping people receive godly counseling, resources, and spiritual insight during their darkest seasons. And right now, we're in the middle of a $475,000 matching gift challenge. Generous friends of New Life have said, tell you what, if the listeners and viewers of New Life Live can give $475,000, we'll match it. Well, thank you, challengers, for this matching gift, and thank you, challengees, for taking up the challenge. You can give at newlife.com or by calling 1-800-NEW-LIFE or text the word match to 28950. More specifically, if you go online, newlife.com/match will get you right to the page where you can make your donation. Thank you so much for whatever you can do during this time when we have this matching gift challenge. 1-800-229-3000 is our number, and now let's talk to Danielle in Richmond, Virginia, listening on WAVA. Hi, Danielle. Welcome to New Life Live.
Hi there. How are you?
Doing well, thanks. How can we help you?
Yeah, so I am a adult child of divorce. I'm 34, and my parents are in their late 60s, and they've been divorced since I was 15, so about 19 years. Mm-hmm. And even though I feel like I've made a lot of progress between the two of them in separate ways, I keep finding myself in these situations of being in the middle, in a messy middle, where I'm either having to choose who am I going to spend the holiday with, and how do I deal with how that makes the other person feel. And specifically, my mom is a 3-time breast cancer survivor, thank God, and she told me not to tell my dad. Well, my dad knows that I don't live in the state, and I came home and I was there for a whole month, and so I couldn't tell him why I was there. And so he eventually found out one way or another, and I was talking to him on the phone, and I could just hear, like, the way that he wasn't going to say it, but that he was hurt, that he had to find out, in a unconventional way, and even, said something to the effect of, you don't have to get along to acknowledge one another's humanity. And I think, for me, it was just really heartbreaking, and I felt really bad that I couldn't tell him because he just wanted to help. And so I find that I'm just being put in this situation, and I've had to argue with my mom about, can he come to Thanksgiving? Do I have to go to 2 places, or can I just go to, one place to have dinner together? And it's always a fight. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Danielle, it sounds so hard. I love your heart, though, for your parents and your care for them. Sounds like your mom still has a lot of hurt and isn't able to tolerate him being around and doesn't want him to know if she's not doing well. And so I understand that. And also, she's asking you to be dishonest, and it's hurting you. And I think that you have to say to her what your boundaries are. And I know when she's dealing with breast cancer for the third time, the last thing you want to do is get into a battle with her. And also, you have a right to be honest with yourself and your father if you need to. Why are you here? I'm taking care of mom. You don't have to tell her business. That's private.
Right.
You know, and you could say, that's her story to tell, but I'm here because I need to spend some time with mom. And that way he knows why you're there. You haven't lied. But I think that there's also a part of you that is still that young part that wishes that they could just get along and get back together. You mentioned, like, can I just go to one place for Thanksgiving? Have you been in therapy or seen a therapist over the years, done some recovery work for how you've grown up with the back and forth and being in the messy middle?
Yes, I think I've had different seasons of therapy. One that was just about my mom, and another one that was just about my dad. I don't know if I really brought the two things together, but
you said about your mom and about your dad. Mm-hmm. But I'm wondering about you
separately.
About you. About you. Something happened to you when they got a divorce. Their divorce happened. But when you talk about dad or you talk about mom, are you talking about you? What you went through, what you experienced, what you thought, what you felt, what you chose, what you would have chose, how it impacted you. I would go back to therapy, and I would really focus on you, and I would also find a life recovery group in your area so that you could get some support, and so that in the times where you have to be direct and hold a boundary, you can. And they can support you to do that.
Yeah. That really is the mic drop, if you would, when she wants to make sure she's working on her, not on them. Mm-hmm. I want to speak to you as a ping pong child. I realize you're not a child, you're an adult. But I've always called the kids who are in a situation like you, whether they're adults or whether they're teenagers, I've called them ping pong, because they go back and forth, and they try to please everybody. And that is a lose-lose situation. So I want to look you in the eyes, and I want to say, you're not the counselor, you're the child. I want to also look you in the eyes and say, now that as a responsible adult that you want to give your parents healthy boundaries. They may not have healthy boundaries. Your mom doesn't sound like she has boundaries because she's asking you to do something like don't tell, your dad why. And that's fine. I mean, what Jacqui said is good. I'm here because mom has something, it's her story to tell. You can say that well. But I think there's times when we just have to, cup our parents' face and say, I love you. I'm not your counselor. I'm here for you, but I can't do what you're asking me to do, or I won't do what I'm asking you to do. They may not like that because maybe they haven't done the work, but you'll need the work. What she said, you'll need the work to, kind of think through that. And so being in the messy middle is not a good place. And so I think it's time for Danielle, you to remove yourself from the messy middle the best you can. I mean, I get it. Life's messy, divorce is messy, relationships are messy.
Aging parents.
Exactly. You got it all going. But you don't have to be, just to hear this, you don't have to be their counselor, and you don't have to be, you're right now, you live in a different state. So you're not the day-to-day caretaker either. Sounds like you're an amazing daughter. But I think you got to take the burden of trying to please them off of your shoulders. And sometimes healthy boundaries helps them have those same kind of boundaries. So you'll learn that in counseling. If you said to somebody, "Hey, help me have better boundaries. I'm a ping pong kid," mm-hmm. I think that would really help you. really, truly. And a lot of times I've had to say to adult children, just like yourself, you're not responsible for their happiness. You want to protect and honor. So you want to honor them, but at the same time, you've got to protect your own soul and your own issues, or it's going to take you down a spiral. It's like, if you're swimming in the water and you go to reach a drowning person, and you didn't say they were totally drowning, but your mom has had some medical issues. Sometimes the drowning person will grab, the person who's trying to help. You don't want to do that. You can protect and honor, protect your own soul while you're honoring your parents, and you do that with good boundaries.
It doesn't mean saying yes to everything they want.
Right. Yeah. No, right. Or saying, yeah, I'll play into your whatever their silliness is. My goodness. This is this is her dad. Mm-hmm. Her dad probably deserves the right to know that her mother has had cancer, but it may not be her story to tell.
Right.
But the dad can call the mom too.
Yep.
I don't know what the situation is. So Danielle, I think you're an amazing person. I love that you're trying to help all of them, but take the job description of Danielle, counselor and adult child away, and just be the adult child with some healthy boundaries.
Maybe take your life back.
Yeah.
You get to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Very good. Danielle, what do you think?
Thank you. It sounds good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, stay on the phone. We want to send you a copy of the book, Take Your Life Back, from the newlife.com store. We've also got a webinar coming up next month that you might benefit from. It's called Healthy Holiday Boundaries. It's on December 10th. You can find out about it at newlife.com or by calling 1-800-NEW-LIFE. It's less than $20 per person, so I think it's a great investment around this time of year. 1-800-229-3000 is the number to call. Dr. Jim Burns and Dr. Jacqui Mack-Harris. We're going to be in the studio for another hour, so plenty of time for you to call in with your question. And so Danielle's parents have been divorced for 19 years, but this is still impacting her.
Oh, listen to the emotion in her. I get it.
Yeah.
Studies show that divorce in the life of a child, continues. So that I always suggest those children who are now adults, a lot of them, to go get the help you need, so that you can still work through this. It's like an onion peel. They leave. Sometimes people are even glad they left, especially a child. But then as you get older, it comes back and it comes back and it comes back, and it gets messy, and you get put in the messy middle.
And especially if you're an only child, and it sounds like Danielle is, there's no one for you to confer with about how crazy mom or dad is being.
Right.
All right, like I said, we're going to be in the studio for another hour, so keep those calls coming. 1-800-229-3000 is our number. We would love to hear from you today. And give us a call if you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, or that friend that you were talking to recently about what they're going through, send them our number, have them call in right now, 1-800-229-3000.
We've been married 33 years. We attended the Intimacy and Marriage Workshop. Even though we've read books or attended a few other marriage weekends, this was certainly different and a lot more intensive than initially that we thought.
When you come to Intimacy and Marriage, you're going to be immersed into a 3-day process.
Was not really sure exactly what to expect, but the idea of learning to really understand intimacy was intriguing. We had been in the same patterns of struggle over and over again.
If you've thought, I don't think we can ever change, we're just in this rut and we can't get out, the Intimacy and Marriage Workshop can help you get out of the rut.
The Intimacy and Marriage Weekend is February 13th to the 15th in Orange County, California. Register online at newlife.com or call 1-800-NEW-LIFE and use the code NLL for a discount. 1-800-639-5433.
I would highly recommend it.
For over 35 years, New Life has been the most trusted name in Christian counseling.
Your ministry has saved my life.
If you struggle with emotional hurt, family or marriage problems, the pit of depression, or the pain of addiction, we can help.
I'm down 100 pounds now from what I was.
I found a counselor through New Life Ministries, and it's just been outstanding.
Our treatment programs provide clinically appropriate solutions from licensed professionals, all in a biblical framework.
I have had problems with alcohol. I think God has ordained this place to be His
is.
You don't have to be a prisoner of your pain. Help is available at 1-800-NEW-LIFE.
She tells me that I'm a new man, and I feel like a new man.
It worked for me, and it can work for them too.
This time it is different.
If you're ready to take the first steps toward genuine spiritual and emotional healing, call us today at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. God can open the door for a better tomorrow.
To get someone that's competent, that's good at what they do, it's been like day and night compared to what I've had before.
Call 1-800-639-5433. To find out more information about New Life or to order any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now back to New Life Live.
So I was just talking about the Healthy Holiday Boundaries webinar that's coming up next month on December 10th. You can find out all about it at newlife.com. It's 90 minutes long, including 30 minutes of Q&A, and it's less than $20. So sign up today at newlife.com. There's another webinar coming up tomorrow. If you've already registered for the Coping with Loss Grief webinar, don't forget, 5 p.m. Pacific Time, 7 p.m. Central. Set an alarm on your phone, and if you have not registered, there is still time. If you're grieving the death of a loved one or walking through another kind of loss or know someone who is, this session will offer biblical insight, emotional support, and practical tools to help you move forward. You'll discover God's plan for healing, not just survival, and take the next step toward peace, hope, and wholeness. This is also a 90-minute webinar. It goes live at 7 p.m. Central Time. 30 minutes of Q&A, less than $20. All the details at 1-800-NEW-LIFE or at newlife.com. All right, let's take another call. Here is Lisa from Omaha, Nebraska, who listens to us on newlife.com. She called 1-800-229-3000 to talk to Doctors Jim Burns and Jacqui Mack-Harris, and so can you. Hey there, Lisa. Thanks for calling in.
Hi, how are you?
Doing great. Now that you've called.
So I have an update.
Okay.
From calling in last month about my mom. I don't know if Jackie's going to remember, but my mom and I are very close, and she got a new dog and didn't tell me she got a new dog.
Yes, I remember.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Now,
So,
give us a little bit of backstory for anyone who wasn't listening that day.
yeah. So my mom and I are super close. We talk to each other 3 times a day. The dog that I gifted her 10 years ago suddenly died, and I went there before the dog died and went to the vet and put the dog down and suddenly got ill. And then I came into town, flew into town to be with her, to console her, and my stepdad took the dog to the vet because they couldn't do it, had to bury the dog, make a grave, and then me and my siblings made a little memorial, and then weeks later, my mom gets a new dog and doesn't even tell me. Mm-hmm. And I was very hurt.
Yeah. So tell us about the update.
Yes.
So the update is, I also sell stuff for my mom in her state. So she uses my account, and I wasn't ready to call her even after I talked to you guys. I was still praying about it, but the Lord intervened, and something sold, and I had to call her because the person was coming to pick it up. So I was like, "Hi, Mom." She's like, "Is this my daughter?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And that was it. We did not get to discuss anything. It was like we never stopped talking. But it's something that Becky, because Becky was also on the call that day with you, Jackie. Yeah. I had been romanticizing my relationship with my mom.
Yeah.
And that was a huge wake-up call for moving forward, for me not to get hurt anymore and to protect myself.
Yeah.
Because she's always behaved like this. She's always hurt me. Yeah. And I always sweep it under the rug like, oh, well, she's just this or she's just that and da-da-da-da-da. And, but that dog incident really hit me hard. Yeah. And like I said, I wasn't ready, but I also realized I'm not going to romanticize anything in my life anymore.
Yeah, let the truth be the truth. People are good at showing us who they are. Our problem is we can't accept that because we want them to be the story we have in our head about them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, or just better.
Yeah, well, but better is the story we have. We think it's better. It would be better for us in our perspective, but what does it mean for the other person when we think that if they did this my way or they did what I think they should do in their life, it would be better for them. Well, that's in my imagination as I imagine who they are and how they think and what they want out of life and what God has called them to. But I have no actual idea of what's going on inside of their mind, their heart, their body, what God is calling them to. So it's the story I'm making up about a whole nother person, and I'm not the director of their life. I am in mine. And so now you don't have to think, well, she should have done this because I would have done that. You have to think, well, my mom's not like that. She doesn't think about things like that. She's forgetful. She's not going to take my feelings into consideration about something like that. That's just how she is. And when we accept, truly radically accept people for who they are, we have so much more peace because we release them from our expectations.
Yeah. And I will update you really quickly about the fact that this new dog is driving her crazy.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Everything that I was trying to avoid because she has a little bit of onset Alzheimer's, just very, very, very beginning stages. And it's driving her nuts.
Yeah.
Her sleep is now messed up. And and I'm
life's
not,
about choices.
Yeah, totally. And that's all I was trying to protect her from was her sanity and health. And and it's just great. I really appreciate you guys being there for me.
Thank you so much for calling back.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got to hear how it turned out. Bless you too.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you.
We always in fact, if you've got a story of you've maybe called into us before and you took the advice that was given by either Dr. Jim Burns or Dr. Jacqui Mack-Harris or Becky Brown or so many of us here that give great advice, and we'd love to hear your update as well. So call in. In fact, we're going to be in the studio today for another hour at 1-800-229-3000. Now, as we were talking to Lisa, you were mentioning, Jacqui, that it's the story that's in our mind of how that person should be. What do you think? Sometimes we have that story in our mind about the Lord. Like, if only the Lord did things this way, everything would be so much better. So why?
I think that's a very true statement that often we're taught, well, if you do this, God will do that. If you do this way, then you'll be blessed in this way. Right. And that's just not actually true. And so now we have people who are disappointed. I did everything the church told me I was supposed to do, and my life's still not turning out. Like the caller we had earlier, Damien, I believe, even doing the right things, even reading scripture, going to church, meeting with people, sometimes things just don't go the way you plan. And you imagine that your story is reality, when what it is the story you're telling.
Yeah. Your word to Lisa when you said director. We become the director, but we become the director with God. Yes. I call them God give me prayers. And I think, what am I doing? I'm directing God. I'm telling God do this, God do that. I'm telling him what to do instead of relinquishing my will to his will. That's a lot better place.
Yeah.
Yes.
And because, again, we put it in our mind that we're now telling God, I'm directing you to do this. Well, he's God. He's omnipresent. He wants to hear our supplication. He wants to hear our prayers. He wants to hear our thanksgiving. He wants to hear what we have in mind. But we also have to say, and God, your will be done.
Yeah.
And so we can't be the director. And we try to do that. We try to do it with our moms. We try to do it with our dads.
With our kids. With our congregants. We try to do it with our students. It's part of how we're socialized and conditioned in life. There is someone older or more experienced, or maybe not even, telling you how you should be, and to be, in order to be happy, to be successful, or what have you. And often people are walking around like zombies because they're trying to do this thing they were instructed that they should do, and it's not them.
Right.
It's not what they want to do. It's not what they're called to do. It's not what they're equipped to do, and they are miserable. But they think they're failing because they're not good enough, and what it is they're failing because they're not aligned in their own purpose.
No, that's so good. We do that with adult children. We're telling them what to do when, in fact, we need to give them the passport to adulthood and say, okay, experience is a better teacher, and you just have to go, oh my goodness. Even like the dog with Lisa. Oh, that's going to be a tough one.
That's going to be tough, but...
Mom, I told you. But you don't have to even say I told you so. You can see it played out.
You just see it played out.
Right.
Lisa, I think we'll send you a registration for the Healthy Holiday Boundaries webinar, so stay on hold and we'll get that to you. Hey, everybody, thanks for calling in today, and we're going to be in the studio for another hour, so keep those calls a coming at 1-800-229-3000. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks for listening. We hope this program has helped you by giving you insights for handling the challenges you face in your life. We want you to know that we're here for you, but you also need to know that New Life Live is a listener-supported ministry. To make your donation or to get any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433 or online at newlife.com. Please join us again tomorrow for New Life Live.